Perfect. Okay, so I want to practice chromatic scales, and I want to practice them in treble clef and bass clef. And how do I practice them? First, I want to establish my key center, and I do that by just playing the root with my left hand, and then with my right hand, I'm going to go up and down the chromatic keys. Maybe I even can zoom in. Maybe that would be even better. Maybe. Okay. And by the way, I want to thank Sarah Jo, a great pianist, producer, K-pop producer, arranger, accompanist. Yeah, she's with me, and she's gonna help me in with my chat window, and she's always there typing whatever we do, and so that's then later on that's extremely easy for all my students to go back to the tape and just click on the right time. Okay, so now we're gonna continue with our chromatic scale. So the way I practice is I establish my key with my left hand, and then I'm gonna go up and down. And one of the things that we have to do is let's just try to memorize the syllables going up and down. So we have do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. And descending, do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, so why don't we start? Let's start. Descending, do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, and now I want to move on. Oh, why don't we review? Let's do it again. Descending, do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to bass clef. Bass clef, bass clef. So how am I gonna practice bass clef? How about if I play triad with my right hand, and now I'm gonna play a bass line. Bass line. So here we go. Descending, do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Let's practice again. Do, di, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Descending, do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, now let's go to another key. Why don't we go to the key of F? Key of F, and I want to start with F, but in treble clef. Okay, so we're in the key of F. Same process. I'm going to establish F just by playing single note with my left hand, and then since we're working in movable do, my whole process is movable do. Yeah, that's actually the only thing I teach. Yeah, in relationship to solfege. Yeah, so and we're going to establish our syllables. Our syllables are actually going to be the same, but now they're going to move to F. They're going to shift to F. So we have here do, di, re, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Thank you, Sarah, for typing and keeping track of everything we do. Now, descending, our syllables are going to change. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, so now we're going to sing and play. And here we go. Do, ti, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Let's practice again. Do, ti, do. Again, sorry. Do, ti, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Good, and now I want to explore F, but with bass clef. Bass clef. So here we go, bass clef. We're gonna play our F major triad, and then we're gonna play our bass line. And here we go. Descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, re, ra, do. Let's do it again. Do, ti, re, mi, fa, fi, sol, si, la, li, ti, do. Descending. Do, ti, te, la, le, sol, se, fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, and I want to go back to chromatic scale on C. And this whole system is a movable do system. And why did I choose that system? Well, it just goes beautifully with chord scale harmony, jazz harmony. Yeah, so even our chromatic notes, it doesn't matter what key I'm going to be in, they're going to relate to some type of harmonic meaning in the chord scale system. So let's say I'm starting with do. Okay, give me do, 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 do. Okay, then I'm going to go to D, which is a sharp 2, or I'm sorry, sharp 1. Okay, so what can we do as a sharp 1? How about I can have a sharp 1, re, re, I can have a sharp 9, mi, or fa, fi, sol, C, so I'm going to have a sharp 5. La, li, ti, do. Now we're going to go descending. Do. What can I do now? Ti, te, la, le, sol, se. I'm not going to use a fi, but it says, so I'm going to see it as a flat 5. Fa, mi, me, re, ra, do. Okay, and that would be a great practice actually for all of us to take this chromatic scale up and down and work with our reharmonizations on each note. Yeah, that's a bit more of an advanced practice, but it's actually lots of fun. Lots of fun. Okay, now I want to go to my triads, and I want to continue working with modal interchange. I may have to shift my keyboard. Yes, I have to shift my keyboard. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So now I'm using from last week. What are we doing new? Number one, I'm using a different note pattern. Brand new note pattern. Mi, sol, do, sol. And we're gonna take that through all the sequence. Something new, we're using a different sequence. Completely different sequence. I have an augmented chord. This is different from last week. A flat 5, then I go to major, then I go to sus2, diminished, minor, and I end up with sus4, and then maybe we return back to our original chord, which is an augmented triad. And we're gonna do this in different keys, okay? So the practice is we start with the key that we choose. In this moment, we're going to choose C just to warm up. Then we're going to go to different keys, and we're going to run through the sequence. You know, playing keyboard. So here we go. Augmented, flat 5, major, sus2, diminished, minor, sus4, and we end up on augmented. Now I want to do the note pattern here. Okay, so in this case, mi, si, do, si. We're gonna play and sing at the same time. That's the key, that's the core of our practice. We're playing and singing at the same time while we use solfege, and hopefully while we're visualizing what we're doing. So here we go. And mi, si, do, si, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, re, sol. Okay, let's do the same. Which key should we do now? Which key? Let's do E flat. So we're gonna play our chords. Augmented, major flat 5, major, sus2, diminished, minor, sus4, and we end on augmented. Okay, good. So let's start. Mi, si, do, si, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, re, sol, do, sol, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, fa, sol, do, sol. Let's do another key. How about if we do G flat? G flat, G flat, G flat. So let's play our chords first, our chord progression. Augmented, flat 5, major, sus2, diminished, minor, sus4, and we end on augmented. Okay, let's start. And mi, si, do, si, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, re, sol, do, sol, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, fa, sol, do, sol, mi. And I want to do one more key. How about B flat? B flat. So let's play the chord sequence. Augmented, flat 5, major, sus2, diminished, minor, sus4, augmented. Okay, excellent. Let's do it. Mi, si, do, si, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, re, sol, do, sol, mi, si, do, si, mi, sol, do, sol, fa, sol, do, sol, mi. Okay, very good. That was our triad workout. So I want to do things that I didn't do last week, that I totally skipped. Okay, so I want to work with solfege. Here, so we have this example, and it's in 3/4, and it's in the key of A minor. So what I would like to do is, when I work with my students in different colleges, what I like to do first is we do a warm-ups in that key. So we're in the key of A minor. So we're going to do clusters. Although most of my students know clusters, but I'm just going to define it again. It's a chord made out of consecutive seconds, and I play the lower tetrachord of the scale with the left hand, upper tetrachord with the right hand. What's the purpose? The purpose is that we can visualize the scale. A big part of my teaching system is that I always emphasize two things. I emphasize visualization. Yeah, so we create the constant development of our internal musical images. Yeah, and language. And I use solfege, movable to solfege is my default language. Why? Because it just works beautifully with chord scale harmony, jazz harmony, which is what I use and which is what I teach. Okay, so then in our solfege training, I always use 3 components. One is tapping, and when I do tapping, I'm going to have to change my camera setup. We take rhythm, we take conducting, pitch, everything out. We just deal with solfege syllables, and which tend to be actually challenging when we're shifting keys, all the keys, and we're going through them. Yeah? So that's actually challenging. And the next part is conducting, and I shift hands. And the other hand is going to do pulse, where we can do pulse in 1, pulse in 2, pulse in 3, pulse in 4, pulse in 1 and 3, pulse in 2 and 4, pulse in 1 and 2, or pulse in 3 and 4. Yeah, so we always are changing pulse. Every time we change pulse, it's like, whoa, it's totally new experience. And that level is spoken, so we still take pitches out. And the last part, we sing. Yeah. And we don't worry so much about pulse. We just concentrate on our melodies. Okay, so now we're in the key of A minor. So let's do a warm-up. We're gonna do 3 clusters, and we're gonna do a cluster on A minor, a cluster on A harmonic, cluster on A melodic. I'm only using the ascending part of the cluster. That's what we use in chord scale harmony. Okay, so how about if we do warm up in diatonic thirds, going up and down on those 3 scales. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, le, sol, ti, le, do, ti, re, do. And descending. Do, sol, te, fa, le, mi, sol, re, fa, do, mi, do. Now we're gonna shift to harmonic. Here we go. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, le, sol, ti, le, do, ti, re, do. Descending. Do, do melodic. Melodic. Here we go. Do, mi, re, fa, mi, sol, fa, la, sol, ti, la, do, ti, re, do. Descending. Do, mi, ti, re, la, do, sol, ti, fa, la, mi, sol, re, fa, do, mi, do. Okay, so now I said that we were going to do tapping. Okay, for this I need to move my camera. Okay, so tapping, I just use my hands, and they're going to be tapping on my laps. Okay, so each time I say a different note, label a different note, I'm not going to be singing. So I'm taking all the elements out. I leave only solfege syllables. So let's do it. So first note would be, we're in the key of A minor. So first note would be do. We're going to go slowly. Do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, sol, fa, sol, re, me, re, do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, ti, me, re, ti, do, me, do. Okay, why don't we do it again? And do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, sol, fa, sol, re, me, re, do, ti, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, ti, me, re, ti, do, me, do. Okay, so that was our first level. And now second level is I'm going to conduct. How about, in this case, I'm sorry, 3, 4. So down, right, up. Okay, and how about for now, we're just going to keep it easy. We're going to do pulse in 1. Then maybe later on, we're going to shift our pulse. So here we go. 1 measure up front. 1, 2, 3. Do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, sol, fa, sol, re, me, rest. Re, do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, ti, me, re, ti, do, me, do, rest. Okay, how about if we shift hands? So we're going to conduct with our left hand. 1, 2, 3. Remember, when we conduct with both hands, they're mirror to each other. Okay, mirror to each other. So in this case, it will be down, left, up. Let's keep our pulse on 1 for now. Then we're going to do other things with a pulse. So 1 measure up front. 1, 2, 3. Do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, sol, fa, sol, re, me, re, do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, me, sol, do, re, ti, me, re, ti, do, rest, me, do. Okay, good. So that was the second part, and now let's sing. I'm gonna, yeah, why not? Okay, so first note, do. Okay, I'm gonna go right on the first measures and we have a rest on the first and second beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Do, la, fa, re, fa, ti, do, sol, mi, sol, do, re, sol, fa, sol, re, mi, rest. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. I'm going to start right on the first measure. So here we go. 1, 2. Good. That was our solfege lesson of today. What are we going to do next? I want to work with tension substitution voicings. I want to do that. And okay. Tension substitution voicings. Okay, and I think this is a good zooming. Maybe. Okay, even better. Okay, here we go, here we go. What are we going to do today? We are going to work with a minor 7/9. So if let me zoom a bit more. Yeah, that's even better. Whoops. I think for voicings, this zoom is actually good. Okay. So if we have a minor 7, the minor 7 chord, and we're using a Dorian mode for this one. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I have a very interesting choices for tension substitution. I can have a 9 for root. I can have an 11 for flat 3. I can have an 11 for 5, so my 5 goes down to the 11. If I'm in a modal setup, I even can use the 13th. Maybe not a tonal setup because it gets the sound gets kind of mushy with the dominant chord, related dominant. But if I'm in a modal setup, I could use 13 for 5, which means my 5 would go to the 13th. Okay, so but in this case, we're keeping it simple. We're just using one tension substitution, 9 for root. So my root is going to go to 9. So I'm going to have a 9, flat 3, 5, flat 7, or re, mi, sol, te. When I practice and I work with my students, we change labelings. Yeah, sometimes we label by intervals and sometimes we label by solfege, or we go back and forth, back and forth. That's part of our technique. And I want to do something here with my camera. Good. That's much better. Okay, so let's work with our root position voicing. Re, mi, sol, te. So the way we practice is we go through all the different keys, but we're always singing and playing at the same time. First, we break it up. We go up. We actually could do other patterns. There are actually 24 patterns in a 4-note grouping. Yeah, are we going to explore all of that? Maybe not today. Yeah, we're only gonna do the ones ascending. So I'm gonna work with re, mi, sol, te. That's it. Here we go. C. Re, mi, sol, te. And then we play F. Re, mi, sol, te. A flat. Flat. Re, mi, sol, te. F sharp. Re, mi, sol, te. And C sharp. Re, mi, sol, te. Okay, I think I'm already hearing some of my students asking me, Carlos, slow down, slow down. Okay, let's do it again. I'm going to do a few keys and I'm going to work my slower. B. Re, mi, sol, te. Actually, that happens to me in every class I teach. Students always are telling me, slow down. Okay, let's do it. Let's slow down. G. Re, mi, sol, te. E. And B flat. Re, mi, sol, te. Good. Now I want to switch. I want to switch to first inversion. Okay, so now if I have a minor 7 chord, maybe in this octave, then my 9/4 root will entail that my root is going to go up to the 9. And I'm going to end up with this voicing. It's going to be a flat 3, 5, flat 7, 9. Mi, sol, te, re. Okay, let's start building our voicings on all different keys. Mi, sol, te, re. E. Mi, sol, te, re. A flat. C sharp. Mi, sol, te, re. F. Mi, sol, te, re. A. Mi, sol, te, re. D. A flat. Mi, sol, te, re. Okay, now I want to move on to second inversion. Second inversion, again, if I'm playing straight ahead, minor 7 chord in second inversion, I would move my root to the 9. Okay, I know some students are asking me, Carlos, you're having a minor second and the upper 2 notes. That's okay, yeah, because no chord lives by itself. You know, maybe we're gonna use this chord in relationship to other chords, yeah, and then it's gonna sound great. Okay. Also, I love to explore sonorities. I know in a lot of harmony books they give us all sort of rules, and they have a place, absolutely. Yeah, but this is my take. When our perception develops beyond a certain point, and when I talk about our musical perception, it has to do with our internal musical imagery. That's why we do so much of visualization. We learn to see shapes, hear internal musical shapes, and also have kinesthetic feelings, and we learn to create them at will. And then the other part is we learn to give meaning to everything by attaching a certain language, in this case movable do, and then our whole system comes beautifully together, hopefully with some studying of harmony and solfege and other disciplines. So when we do all of that, yeah, our musical perception develops. And when it develops beyond a certain point, yeah, I think that all rules collapse, and they have to collapse, yeah, because they are just guiding us. And from that moment on, you know, I tell my students, we are just painting. It becomes a world of images and feelings and intuitions and flows, which is actually a wonderful place to be. Yeah, that's my opinion, just my opinion. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna build sol, te, re, mi. Sol, te, re, mi. Here we go. Sol, te, re, mi. F sharp. Sol, te, re, mi. C sharp. Sol, te, re, mi. G. D. Sol, te, re, mi. A flat. Sol, te, re, mi. E flat. Sol, te, re, mi. And one last one. Let's do A. Okay, good. So now I want to move on. I'm spending more time on tension substitution voicings. Yeah, I think instead of rushing so much, I want to spend more time on each area. I think it's very, very good for us. Okay. One moment. What did I do? 13th version. Okay, so if I have again 13 versions minor 7 chord, my root is going to move on to the 9. So I'm going to have a flat 7, 9, flat 3, 5. Te, re, mi, sol. And here we go. Te, re, mi, sol. E. A flat. Te, re, mi, sol. C sharp. Te, re, mi, sol. F. Te, re, mi, sol. A. D. Te, re, mi, sol. A flat. Te, re, mi, sol. And B. Te, re, mi, sol. Okay, so if probably you've noticed that I play root and then I just wait a couple seconds, so for everybody kind of to get the first note in our mind. Te, re, mi, sol. Actually, we could practice that speed just to try to get all those sounds out. Okay, very good. What are we going to do next? I want to close today with A flat blues progression. Okay. Let me change my camera setup. Okay, that would be good enough. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, we have A-flat blues. We've been doing this for a couple weeks. So last week we did ascending patterns, so now I want to do descending patterns. And maybe next week we can go to D-flat blues. Yes, yeah. We need to do our blues progression in all 12 keys, little by little. Yeah, not in one day. Okay, so let's just sing the bass motion. Okay. When I was in the Cornell School of Music, I had all my students sing bass and then sing the other, other notes and create some very interesting voice leading. Yeah, and that's a great practice. When I was actually working with one of my teachers, Ram Blake, he had me to sing the root motion of all the standards while I was playing the standard itself. And that was amazing, yeah, an amazing practice. Yeah, it gave me almost like a 3D view of that song. Yeah, and then it actually helped me a lot later on in my life when I was doing production or I was performing. Yeah, I was able to almost, hear all the different parts, and I already established a discipline to do that. So let's sing. Do, fa, sol, do, fa, fi, do, mi, la, re, sol, do, la, re, sol, do. Okay, let's do it again. And do, fa, do, sol, do, fa, fi, do, mi, la, re, sol. Turn around. Do, la, re, sol, do. Okay, very good. So now let's work with our descending patterns. Descending patterns. So here we go. We're gonna start slowly. De, sol, mi, do. And I actually would work like that. Instead of working with voicings and trying to sing at the same time, let's just keep it super simple. Left hand is just gonna keep just playing the root motion while we sing and play. De, sol, mi, do, mi, do, la, fa. Just adjust your octave, it doesn't matter. De, sol, mi, do, fa, re, de, sol, mi, do, la, fa, mi, do, la, fi, de, sol, mi, do, re, de, sol, mi, di, la, do, la, fa, re, ti, sol. De, sol, mi, do, sol, mi, di, la, do, la, fa, re, ti, sol, do. Okay, we're gonna do again, but first I just wanna explore some areas. So, third line, we have our 4/7, mi, do, la, fa. Then we're gonna move to our sharp 4 diminished, mi, do, la, fi. Then we go to our 1. And then what we have here, we have a 2, 5 of 2. So in this case, a 2 minor 7 flat 5, to a 5-7 flat 5, resolving into 2 minor 7. Okay, so we're gonna use the following syllables. Re, ti, sol, mi, ti, la. Yes, a sharp one. Sol, mi, ti, la, do, la, fa, re. And then we have our turnaround. We actually could do just the turnaround over and over and over again until we get it. 1, 6, 2, 5. Ti, sol, mi, do, sol, mi, ti, la, do, la, fa, re, ti, sol, do. Let's work on our turnaround again. Ti, sol, mi, do, sol. Take it from the top and ti, sol, mi, do, mi, do, la, fa, ti, sol, mi, do, fa, re, ti, sol, mi, do, mi, do, la, fa. Why don't we do it again? Let's do it again. And maybe I should change my camera setup. Let's see. Whoops. Okay, let's hope it works. Yeah, probably that's better. So here we go. And ti, sol, mi, do. Blues in A flat. Yeah, I have to practice too. Okay, some of those parts are kind of tricky. Yeah, so that's gonna close up. And wow, Yu Hong, this is wonderful to have you. One of my former students now becoming a super producer. Yeah, you know, I'm thinking now that now that I have quite a few students. I've been teaching for almost 24 years, and many of my students are doing great, yeah, and they're sending me their projects, and I see their amazing albums and Facebook, so I wanna spend like 3 minutes, yeah, just featuring a former student of the day, Yu Hong. I would love to feature some of your work, even if it's for 2 minutes. I know that you are doing some movie work and doing some great stuff, yeah, so. And I'm gonna invite, I have so many students that are doing great. Okay, folks, it was great to see you. And we're gonna continue our work next week. And I want to actually explore also different areas, different voicings, different scales. I want to explore how to apply our solfege also to improvisation workouts. You know, how can I do all sort of type 2-5-1 and turnarounds, but now with patterns and permutations on patterns. That would be actually very cool. Okay, so I will see everybody next week. Bye Sarah, bye Yukong, bye Stefan, bye everybody who had joined me today. Next week, same channel.